Attack Attack, metalcore band from Westerville, Ohio. They formed back in the year 2005, and before this have released two previous albums entitled Someday Came Suddenly and their self-titled Attack Attack. But today we're here to talk about their newest release and third album called This Means War. Now, I have to say this because it's probably the most discussed topic of the band Attack Attack. That would be their lineup changes on every CD. Now, of course, you know on their first album they had lead vocalist at the time, Austin Carlisle, but he was actually kicked out of the band in 2008, I do believe, because they had personal differences and he had some health issues. So he went out to start with Mice and Men and the band was looking for a vocalist. Back at this time, they put out their first album, Someday Came Suddenly, and they were considered crabcore music. They were one of the most popular in the scene and they were definitely one of the most talked about. On the release of their second record, they had synth player Caleb move from synth up to lead scream vocals. Now, also on this album, they still had a clean vocalist slash guitar player Johnny Frank. This album was a great success. It was one of the most talked about of the year on Rise Records, and had a lot of success with the music video from Smokahontas and a lot of great hits. Sadly, I think it was 7, 8 months or a year after this, Johnny had actually decided to leave the band and go to his side project, which was entitled The March Ahead. Many had thought what they were going to do, and that's when they decided to move Caleb up to screamer slash clean vocalist. Many had wondered what the new Attack Attack would sound like with Caleb doing both screaming and clean vocals. Now, in early 2011, Attack Attack actually did a re-release of their self-titled album, which showed a few new songs and what Caleb was capable of both singing and screaming. But that's why we're here today to talk about their third release album, which is entitled This Means War. Getting right off the bat to some tracks on this CD. First, I will mention The Motivation. Now, this was the first single released off the album that was released months before the CD was due to come out, and it really showed how Attack Attack had even lowered their tuning of guitar and their overall playing. I'm not sure of the tune because I'm not a guitar player. I'm not really good with, you know, the keys of guitar or the tunings of guitar, but they're pretty much at like the lowest tune you can put in a guitar. And I gotta say, it sounded really good. There was a big difference though you could see from this first single. A lot of people complained about this actually. Caleb does not do lows anymore, which some people were really upset about. There was a much different vocal range, as I said, from no lows, and you could really tell that Caleb, like, he had to find a sound where he could do both screaming and singing and not strain his voice. And the last thing I must say, they were going to do a music video for this song. They released a teaser and everything, but then it just kind of got scrapped for some reason, and I gotta say, I wasn't too pleased by it. The next song is The Wretched. Now, this was actually the second single release, which had a music video following its release, and this one was actually released, unlike The Motivation. I will say the video was well put together, great quality, had a pretty good storyline, and really showed off a great song. I really liked the start of this song. There was this clean guitar slash little bit of a drum intro, which led into a great overall catchy song. It had one of the catchiest choruses, I think, on the entire album, and really had a good meaning to it. But yeah, this showed an even greater improvement in Caleb's vocals, which I was a bit iffy on first, like most people, but when I heard this, I definitely started to dig the sound, and the more I listen to it, I'm starting to fall even more in love with it. The third song I chose was actually the last song on this album, which was called The Eradication. This opens up with like this really heavy and fast breakdown that you know that if you're at a show, it would start to pit right away, and you see how the kids moshing. Lyrically, it was really well put together, catchy, really catchy chorus, and the breakdowns in the rest of the songs were really, really solid. Okay, now on to my final thoughts of this album. I will say, first off, you can definitely see a heavier side of Attack Attack on this album. There's no more electronica, and there's definitely a lot more breakdowns, which makes this CD really heavy, and you can also, the third thing you can really hear is it's very more structurally written. Overall, you can feel a lot of like a big sign of maturity, I guess you could say. Two things I have to mention. One thing I see compared a lot is how Attack Attack stole this idea from Memphis May Fire CD, The Hollow, and how they took it with all the song titles, like, you know, the whole 10 songs with The Wretched, The Motivation, The Family. Like, they stole the idea from it. But here's the thing, there's probably been lots of bands who've done that because it's not, someone didn't come up with the idea and say, hey, let's all steal it. Like, someone came up with the idea, but Attack Attack used it to their own con. It's not something you can steal. So a lot of people are hating on this CD, saying, "Oh, they stole this from Memphis Mayfire. This is not their idea." Like, of course, it's not their intentional idea. Like, they just wanted to do this because they thought it was clever and they liked the idea of it. So yes, a lot of people hated on it because of that. I think it's a very silly reason to hate on a CD or complain about it just because of something that's titled in a CD. A second thing I will say is there's a lot of complaints because, one, another thing, they complain that Caleb does not do his low vocals anymore, like I had mentioned earlier. They say it sucks because he doesn't do lows and he's capable of it. He's very capable of it. Like, you know, he's capable. He's just, if you want him to reach a vocal range where he won't lose his voice, as you can tell tonight I'm losing mine, he needs to sing in a certain pitch, which he's doing a great job of because it's still a great vocal style. And another thing, the last thing I'm going to mention, is how they compare this band to being shit since Austin left. Now, I love Austin Carlisle, like I honestly do. He's one of my favorite screamers on the scene, and Mice and Men's one of my favorite bands. And no, I'm not just some wannabe saying it's one of my favorite bands. I honestly love the band. And I must say, they hate on it because they said Attack Attack has been shit since Austin left. They can't put anything good out without Austin, 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 Austin. Here's the thing. Austin and Caleb are actually friends now, I do believe, and they get together well. He said that Caleb should have been the singer a long time ago, and I'm not gonna lie, like, Austin did a great job. Like, Someday Came Suddenly was a great album. So was the self-titled, and so was This Means War. Of Mice and Men's, one of the top bands on Rise right now, and Austin has his own following, his own new band, his own members. Like, both bands are doing amazing. They're doing great jobs at what they do, and people still complain saying Austin left and this is their biggest problem. No, like, Caleb's a singer. You gotta get over it. Like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. He's doing a great job. Austin's doing a great job in his band, and they're both doing fine. So yes, that's just some of the problems I had to point out. So, last thing I'm gonna say, this album definitely gets an 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to say it's probably one of their best to date. I can't decide because I enjoy all three of them very much lately. I think it's kind of a tie between this and the self-titled that I love the most. But yeah, overall, just a great CD. If you really enjoy metalcore, you enjoy breakdowns, some clean vocals in between, you'll definitely like the CD. Before I go, I'm just going to ask you guys, what's your favorite song on this album? You know, 1, 2, 3, your top 3 favorite songs. What's your favorite Attack Attack CD? And what do you think's better? Because there's a big comparison of Memphis Mayfire and Attack Attack. Do you think the Memphis Mayfire CD was better or the Attack Attack CD? I'm not talking about the idea, I'm just asking in general, which is better, like a battle of CDs. So yeah, ooh, one last question. Do you think Austin was better or Caleb? I know I'm just kind of fueling the fire here, but I'm just kind of curious on your thoughts because I really like hearing from everyone. Me, I'm not going to say either because they both did a great job in that band and now they're doing great jobs in different bands. So yeah, one last thing before I go. I just want to say to everyone watching this video and this review, thank you very much for enjoying it. I kind of covered my mouth, so I'm going to say it again. Thank you very much for watching this video, enjoying the review. I hope you did. If you did, like this video down below, comment, and share it to your friends. It would mean a lot to me. I'm going to say this, I have a Facebook page, if anyone didn't know. You can go on there, I put some music news on there, some updates. And I've recently started this thing of an album battle, which you want to see more, which reviewed. And I put up 5 bands earlier on my page, and there was a huge response. And without a doubt, Bless the Fall won the battle. And you can see their album review, which is going to be up maybe tomorrow or the next day, because I really am trying to make more time for filming these reviews for you. So yes, please feel free to tell me what albums you want to see down below, and I'll definitely get to them. But yeah, make sure you stick to my music page. I'm going to start doing this stuff a lot more with the voting process. I really get a lot of feedback on it, and I'm really enjoying it. So thank you very much, guys. Great feedback, and you can definitely see Bless the Fall's Awakening. That's going to be reviewed in a few days. So, make sure you subscribe to my channel up above, comment and like down below, and y'all have a great day. I shall see you in a little bit. So, it's music for today, it's music for tomorrow, it's music for life. Peace out, guys.